draft. We are going to sew our basic blouse. So the first thing that we're going to do here is that I'm going to join the lining together. I'm going to join the lining to the basic blouse. So this is the fabric for the basic blouse, and this here with me here is the lining. So now I'm going to place this lining on top of the right side of the fabric. So I'm going to start with the neckline, so making it very equal to each other. Then I'm going to place it on my sewing machine and sew around the neckline. You have to be very careful while sewing. So now that we've done this, we can we can take it to the sewing our iron table. Then we iron around this neckline so that this lining will not come out. But to make it perfect, since we are a beginner, we can sew around this side, just top stitch, just sew very close to the neckline like this, so that the lining will stay under the fabric. Make it very close. So now we can take it to the iron now. Then we iron this side so that this lining will not come out at all, because it's not proper for the lining to come out. So you have to do that first before you continue. The next thing I'm going to do here, which I actually forgot, should be the first thing, is the dart. The dart that we're going to use this time around is sew in dart, like we did for the skirt, for the basic skirt. We're just going to sew this dart in. So I'm going to take my fabric, fold it into half. I'm going to fold my fabric into half. Remember, we notch the center for the darts before we wide cutting, so that this will guide us right. This is the notch that I made for the dart, so that means I don't have a problem. So I'm going to take this on this side here. I'm just going to fold it into half, make it straight. So I'm folding it into half. Sorry about my voice, I have a cold while making this video. so my voice may not be very audible, but just follow my parts the way I'm explaining. So I'm going to sew this dart in like this. Take it to the sewing machine. Then the dart will stop 1 inch before the armhole. That is where the dart will stop. So I'm just sewing, just creating my darts. I'm going to measure 1 inch below my armhole. Make sure you can use your chalk just to know this is 1 inch. So this is where my dart will stop from. I have this. Make the first dart. Then we are going to go to the second dart. So just like we did for the first, we did for the second as well. So it's going to stop 1 inch below the armhole, so that it's going to be equal. So making it stop, I'm supposed to look for a chalk so that it trace this side here. So now that we've done this, we can continue with our piping of the face, our piping of the lining onto the fabric. So I'm going to sew the underneath here. This is the next thing I'm going to do. After sewing the neckline, you sew the underneath, the M line here. So I'm going to go down. Remember, while cutting the lining, I make sure the lining for my blouse is a little bit shorter than the fabric, so that the lining will not come out at all, because we don't want to see the lining. So I'm going to draw it close to the M line, then I'm going to sew. This we won't have a problem, especially if we wash the basic skirt. So the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the side. So let's start sewing the side. So now we are just going to make sure the side of the armhole is being taken to be equal, the armhole and the M line here. So this is where we are going to start. Place my fabric here. Just sew down. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to sew the sew sew the other side. So while cutting, I think this lining is a little bit bigger than the fabric. That is why there is an excess here. So if yours is like this, is normal, you can just cut it out. So we have something like this. So we are done with this side. We don't hem the shoulder length. Yes, we don't hem it, we don't pipe it, we just leave it this way. So while joining, we sew it together. So I'm done with this. So now this can go to the ironing table for ironing, proper ironing, so that this hem line, make sure you iron around this so that the lining will stay at the back, so there won't be any lining coming out from here. Then you make sure you iron this hem line as well, hem line of the blouse, so that the lining will not come out. So that is the essence of the ironing. You have to iron. You make sure your fabric, you make sure your garment is really neat, so that there won't be any mistake. So we are done with the front bodies. Now we are going to go to the back bodies, in which we are going to join the we are going to join the zipper. We are going to attach the lining as well. So I'm going to fold it. Remember, we said the difference between the dart legs. The difference between the dart will be the bust point to point, which is for my measurement is 7.5. So 7.5 divided by 2 from the center is going to be 3.75. So that was what I did for the first one. So I'm going to do that for the back bodies as well. Just showing that. So my dart is just an inch from the armhole. That's where it's going to stop. So this is where my dart will stop. For the first round, I'm going to do that for the second as well. So we are going to be we are going to be sewing both bodies simultaneously. So this is the center. That was what I did. So I want to explain. This is the center. This is the zipper allowance. So we are going to start from the center here after the zipper allowance. So I'm just measuring my 3.75. So I'm going here, folding it, we measure because it fell down. So from the center after this zipper allowance, I'm going to measure in my 3.75. Then I'll fold it into half like this, and I'll sew. It actually doesn't make any difference if this back body stop on the armhole. Doesn't make any difference. But since we are beginning, I'm just trying for us to not to forget where that's supposed to. So if you stop at armhole for the back bodies, is still okay. But don't make the front bodies to stop at that, because it will affect the fitting of the blouse. So I'm going to join the lining to it now. So I'm going to go on the right side. Take one part of the of the lining. Then I will take it to the side here. I'm going to sew from the down. So place it the right side. Then I'm going to sew. I'll do that for the second bodice as well. After this, I'm going to make it equal. I'm going to equate it to the back bodice so that such that the lining will fit into the arm lengths. Then I'm going to sew around the neckline. So we have this side. So we have this like this. We'll take it to our ironing table. Then we iron around the side here like this so that the won't come out. And also we can also make it just by taking our scissors. Just don't cut through the thread just before you get to the thread. You can do that for the front bodice as well, so that the lining will press down. It will press down on this side, on the right side, so that it won't come out or pop out from the fabric. So we have this like this. You can also cover stitch it to make it very neat. Just make sure while sewing you use a matching thread. So you have something like this. Take it to the ironing table. Make sure you iron it perfectly. So after this, now I'm going to sew the side. I'm going to sew the underneath like this. Make sure you weight it like this so that it will be equal at the side. Then we'll take it to the sewing machine and sew. Then you sew the side together, and we are done with the first part. For the other side as well, just go to the right side and the right side. Go to the right side of the fabric. Make sure you match the lining to the fabric. Then you just sew down. We are going to do that as we did for the first round. Then match the neckline. So just make sure there's no much excess at the wrong side on the lining. Then we join the underneath together. Join the side. we did for the front bodice, we're just going to trace this side out, just the excess lining, so that it will not pop. So I have this now. I have my front and back bodice ready. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm just trying to turn it to the other side, to the right side. So I'm going to do that for the front and back bodice. Make sure you iron, always iron as you sew. So we have both the front and the back, but we're going to deal with the back first by joining the zipper. I have my black zipper. I'm going to use a black zipper. Make sure you always use a matching thread, a matching zipper. So we have these sides together, zipper. And I'm going to take one side to join the zipper. Make sure it's at neat as much as possible. So this zipper is a little bit different from the front zip, from the skirt zipper that we did. This has no joining. We are just sewing down. So we are going to go to the other side of the like we've sewn the right side, so we are sewing the wrong side as well. The other side as well. So I'm just going to separate the zipper. So I'm going to go, just take it to the other side, then sew down. Make sure you are careful as you sew down, so as to make the blouse very neat. If this is difficult for you, you can sew the underneath like we did for the skirts. then you sew round the zipper. So sew down for the second zipper. So sew down. After sewing the zipper, what to do next is to join the sides together. So we're going to join this. Make sure you always knit your clothes as you sew. So we have this. Then we'll go to take the front bodice, place it together. The first thing to do is to join the shoulder. So I'm going to show you how to join the shoulder before we join the side. So this is the shoulder for the front and the back. You place the right side on the right side so that the shoulders will fit. So we have this shoulder. Now placing it like this. Then I'm going to take the lining to turn it to the other side like this, so that we have the lining together and we have the fabric together. Let me show you once again. I have this shoulder together like this. Then I'm going to take one of it, take the lining, turn it to the side like this. So I have the lining together and I have the fabric together. Then I'm placing it on my sewing machine to sew the sides, the shoulders together. So we are going to do that for the other side as well. This will let us have a very neat joining on our shoulder. So we have this. like this. So we have the shoulder very neat like this, and we also have the inner very neat, so you won't see any joining at both the inner and the outer parts. So we're going to do that for the back, for the other side as well. Then we'll take it like this together, make the lining come to the other side like this. Take it to the sewing machine and sew the shoulders together.